Deep within the heart of Odisha stands the Konark Sun Temple, one of India's most magnificent wonders, a structure so perfect that it feels otherworldly. But behind its grandeur lies the story of a 12-year-old boy named Dharmapada, the boy who, against all odds, completed this temple. But the question still remains, what really happened to him? For centuries, we've been told that Dharmapada leapt into the sea, sacrificing himself to protect the master artisans from the wrath of the king. But is this really the truth? Or is there another story lurking in the shadows of history? What if Dharmapada didn't die that day? What if the boy who completed the temple was taken, snatched by foreign hands, his fate sealed not by the sea, but by men with far more sinister plans? Recently discovered Dutch trade records from the 17th century, vague and fragmented, mention a gifted child in their possession, one who had the knowledge to build structures beyond their understanding. Could this child have been Dharmapada? Could he have been taken away, disappearing into the fog of history, while the world believed he was lost to the waves? For over 7 centuries, the story of Dharmapada's self-sacrifice has been told and retold. But as we dive deeper into history, something strange emerges. In the year 1250 AD, a monumental project was underway on the eastern shores of India, where the great Konark Sun Temple was being constructed. Commissioned by King Narsinghdeva I of the Eastern Ganga dynasty, this temple, dedicated to Surya, the sun god, would soon become one of India's most astonishing architectural wonders. For 12 long years, over 1,000 artisans and craftsmen toiled, yet the temple remained incomplete. In a remote village, miles away from the temple site, lived a boy named Dharmapada, the son of the chief architect, Bishu Maharana. Although too young to work on such grand projects, Dharmapada was already skilled in the art of architecture, having learned from his father. One fateful day, Dharmapada set out to visit his father at the temple, a journey that would forever change his life and the destiny of the Konark temple itself. At the site, despite all their efforts, the artisans faced a seemingly insurmountable challenge. They could not figure out how to place the keystone, a massive piece that was essential to completing the crown of the temple. The pressure was immense. With the king's patience running thin, failure would mean disgrace, or worse, the death of the artisans. While the artisans remained bewildered, a solution came from an unlikely source. Dharmapada, only 12 years old, spent the night analyzing the problem. His keen mind, trained by his father, unlocked the answer. He realized how the keystone could be placed to crown the magnificent structure. Against all odds, the boy had succeeded. The temple, which had stood incomplete for years, was finally finished. The 12-year-old had solved what the finest craftsmen had not. But little did they know, this victory would lead to a tragedy. Instead of joy, fear overtook the artisans. They were terrified. What would the king say when he learned that a mere child had done what they could not? Would he think them incompetent, unworthy of the royal favor? Their fear grew so great that they believed there was only one way to protect themselves, from the king's wrath, and from the shame of being overshadowed by a boy. The whispers spread like wildfire. Dharmapada himself understood the danger that now surrounded him. He was aware of the risk, of the price he might have to pay. And so, as the legend tells it, Dharmapada took matters into his own hands. To save the lives of the 1,200 artisans, he climbed to the highest point of the temple. With one final, selfless act, he leapt from the pinnacle into the crashing waves below, sacrificing his life for theirs. The Konark Sun Temple was now complete, but at a terrible cost. Dharmapada's sacrifice was immortalized in folklore, his name forever etched into the sands of time. But was this the whole truth of what happened that fateful day? For centuries, the story of Dharmapada's leap has been passed down through generations. But as with all legends, there are whispers of alternative endings, murmurs that suggest the truth might be far more complex. Could Dharmapada's tragic death be a tale crafted to conceal a different fate? Some historians and local folklore hint at a different story, one that involves a foreign presence along Odisha's shores. The Dutch, who were prominent traders along the Indian coastline during this time, are believed to have been active in the region. There are vague references in Dutch trade records and fragmented local folklore that suggest Dharmapada may not have died at all. The Dutch had established a strong presence in Odisha, engaging in both trade and, at times, diplomacy with local rulers. Some fragmented local legends suggest that the Dutch traders were aware of the young boy's brilliance. According to these whispers, Dharmapada was not a victim of his sacrifice but was, in fact, taken by the Dutch. Though the references are scarce and vague, a few Dutch trade records mention a boy of great architectural talent, rumored to have been taken on board one of their ships. Could this child have been Dharmapada? Was he taken away by the Dutch, perhaps to be trained, or even exploited for his skills? Could this have been the true fate of the boy who completed the temple? In the remote corners of Odisha, fragmented tales continue to be told. Elders speak of a boy who disappeared after the temple was completed, not a child who died, but one who was spirited away by foreign traders. The stories are vague, passed down through generations, but they all share a common thread. Dharmapada was not lost to the sea, but to the world beyond the temple. Today, historians and archaeologists continue their efforts to uncover the true fate of Dharmapada. While the legend of his sacrifice is the dominant narrative, the fragments of alternative theories cannot be ignored. Could the boy who completed the temple have been taken away by the Dutch? Or did he truly make the ultimate sacrifice? The Dutch records remain frustratingly vague, and the local folklore is fragmented at best. But in the shadows of history, there remains a possibility, one that has not been proven, yet cannot be dismissed. What really happened to Dharmapada? Whether Dharmapada died a tragic death or lived out his days in a distant land, his legacy remains immortal. The temple he completed stands as a testament to his genius and sacrifice, a symbol of both triumph and mystery. To this day, the Konark Sun Temple is not just an architectural wonder, but a monument to the boy who gave his life, or was taken away, after completing it. As we walk through the halls of the Konark Sun Temple today, we are reminded of Dharmapada, the boy whose fate still eludes us, a blend of fact and folklore, and a mystery that continues to captivate all who hear it. What do you think happened to Dharmapada? Was his fate truly sealed in the crashing waves of the sea, or was there more to his story than we know? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more untold stories from history's most mysterious legends.